Hi guys, it's Jack here from I Collect Apple, and today I am unboxing the iPhone XR. I'm lucky enough to get my hands on 4 of the 6 colours. I've got here the blue, the product red, the white and the black, so no yellow or coral, which is a bit of a shame because I believe they are the 2 most popular colours. But in this video I'm going to be doing a fairly speedy unboxing of each one and then a quick color comparison at the end of the video. And throughout the video I'm going to do a kind of little mini review of the iPhone XR and sort of go through what I think about it. So I hope you enjoy it. Let's get going. So first up is the product red. This is going to be a fairly similar color to last year's product red iPhone 8. So we're just going to have a quick look at the outside of the box and get that plastic off. As I say, these unboxings are going to be a little bit faster than normal because I've got to get through 4 phones in one video. So getting the plastic off, we can start lifting the top off the box. Each box has a different wallpaper, a bit like the XS, which is very cool. They're all color matched to the phone, as are the iPhone and Apple logos on the box. And there we go, we're greeted with our documentation. I can already see the little red leaflet in there. And there is my first look at iPhone XR. Looking pretty cool there, just sitting in this box. Let's get it out and take a look. Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, as I say, it's exactly the same as the red iPhone 8 I unboxed earlier this year. We'll put it to one side for the moment. This is a demo phone, so it doesn't come with any headphones. It just comes with that sort of cardboard placeholder. But we do get a lightning cable and a UK 3-pin power adapter as normal. Obviously, in an actual retail XR box, you would get a pair of lightning earpods, but no headphone jack adapter, just like the iPhone XS. They're not shipping in the box this year, but if you really need one, you can get them for £9 or $9, so not crazy expensive. If we have a look at the paperwork, sliding it out of its little envelope, as I say, first thing you get this unique product red information card with a little bit of information about the charity itself on the back there. Obviously you only get this with the product red phones. We get a quick start guide, which is pretty much identical to the one in the iPhone XS box. It tells you about Face ID, it tells you about the gestures of the XR, and this, just like the XS, does mention AirPower in this booklet. So hopefully AirPower is still coming. Potentially on the 30th, the new keynote, which would be cool. Obviously we get a SIM eject tool, we get some warranty information, and we get 2 plain white Apple stickers. I really wish they color matched them for these phones, but unfortunately, a bit of a missed opportunity there, in my opinion. Okay, so let's have a look at the phone, get the plastic off, and take a quick look. In the UK, we have a bunch of regulatory labels on the back of our phones, so before you start commenting saying they're fake, they really are not. Our iPhones just have those ugly labels on the back underneath the Designed by Apple in California text, which is a shame. I wish we could be like the US and have a nice clean back, but unfortunately we can't. The SIM tray has moved down on the side on the XR, which is a bit strange. Something to do with the dual SIM functionality, I believe. But yes, I'm not too sure for the exact reason. You still have a symmetrical speaker grill layout on the XR, unlike the XS Max, which is quite nice. The side buttons are as standard. We've still got our mute switch. Unfortunately, just like the Red 8, it has a orange mute indicator. It was cool on the Red 7 that the indicator was white. It really stood out. But that's me being picky. So if we turn it on, we'll let it boot up and we can move on to the next phone. Next up is my personal favorite, the blue. This is the color that's being heavily promoted by Apple this year, and I really do think, I haven't seen the coral or the yellow yet, so I'll reserve total judgment, but in my opinion so far, this is the color to go for. I am in love with this color. It is so nice. I even love the specific blue they've used for the logos on the box. It matches the aluminium of the phone perfectly. So let's get inside it and take a look. It's very cool. Taking the plastic off, as usual. We're going to be doing this a few times today, 4 to be precise. And obviously we got it's color matched wallpaper. I love this one. I've actually been using the blue 10R home screen wallpaper on my 10s Max since the day I got it. I haven't actually changed it yet. I've had it over a month. That's how much I'm sort of into the colors used on this phone. So let's get the documentation out of the way, and there it is in all its glory. I really love this. It's a lovely sky blue on the edges, and then a very nice soft blue on the back, and silver logos just like the red. And in fact, all the colors of this phone have the silver logos introduced last year, so it's very, very, very cool. I'll put it to one side, and let's take a look at the rest of the box contents. Just like the red one we just had a look at, no headphones because it is once again a demo phone, and the UK power adapter, so really nothing special there. Okay, so very quick look at the documentation. It's exactly the same as the red one we just looked at, so I'm not going to go through it, just to point out that these aren't color matched or anything. Really nothing to see there. Exact same SIM eject tool and the diagram how to use it. Same documentation, same Apple stickers. Yep, you guessed it, same everything. So if we take another look at the phone, let's get the plastic off of it, peel it off, which is always a great feeling. Yeah, it's a really nice color. Let's turn it on and take a little bit of a more detailed look at it. So as I say, we've got that it's a light blue, but the glass is a much deeper, richer blue than the aluminium, which the aluminium is very much a sky blue. It's hard to describe the rear, but as I say, I really like it. I'm sure it won't be to everyone's taste, which is obviously fair enough. But for me, this is the 10R to go for. And yeah, I just love it. I even loved how the antenna bands are a slightly different shade of blue, a more matte shade. Yeah, I really like it, and I love the way the silver Apple logo stands out as an accent on the back. It's really cool. I'd love to see sales figures for these phones, like by color, because as I say, the blue's being promoted, and I suspect quite often the promoted phone sells the most. Right, next up is black. Now, the black one, it's interesting. It exists for a reason. It serves a purpose. Obviously, not everyone who's going to buy the 10R is buying it for the colours. They're buying it because it's a great value phone, and not everyone wants a bright, colourful phone. They just want a sleek black one. So to me, the 10R is all about the colour, so I'm not a fan of the black. It is very boring. But as I say, that's not the point. The point is to be the subtle option, to be the almost classy, sleek, subtle phone. So it's exactly what you expect. It's kind of a cross between a black iPhone 7 and a space grey iPhone 8. The back is very much black rather than grey, to be fair, compared to the space grey 8 and the space grey 10 and 10s for that matter. So it is quite unique. The aluminium, though, is exactly the same as far as I'm concerned as the matte black 7 was. It's a deeper colour than the black aluminium of the space grey iPhone 8, but yeah, it's reused from the 7 as far as I can tell. Maybe not exactly, but to my eye, that is it's exactly the same. So again, standard packaging, standard box contents, nothing unique here. I'm just showing it again just to emphasize the fact that there's nothing funky going on here. It's exactly what you'd expect. Likewise, everything in this booklet is the same as the last two phones. Again, color matched Apple stickers would be really cool here, especially the black ones from the iMac Pro could kind of be recycled for this phone. Okay, let's get the plastic off and take a closer look. As I say, it is very much a true black, which is not unusual, but different from what we've seen so far, because as I say, the glass on the back of the iPhone 8 and the iPhone 10 and 10s is grey. It's a very dark grey, verging on blacky bluish almost, but this is a pure black. And we've got the bright orange mute indicator, which is very cool, stands out really nicely. As I say, this phone isn't ugly, it's very attractive, it's nice, sleek and understated. But as I say, for myself, the 10R is all about colour, and that kind of defeats the point of it. Last up is white. Now, Again, not a very colourful option, but a little bit more exciting than the black, because obviously all these phones have the same black bezel, and then it's the edges and the back that is coloured. So if you don't want a bright colour, but you want something a little more interesting than the back, I'd recommend this white. And just like the black is a pure black rather than the grey, the white is a pure white rather than that sort of cloudy silver colour that we've had on the glass backs of the last two phones, the 8 and the 10 and the 10s. So again, a new colour. The aluminium edges, though, very, very similar to the Silver 7 and the Silver 8. So I'll discuss the colours in more detail in just a second, but let's go through opening this one up. So slide the top off, and it's a fairly familiar experience by now. We remove the paperwork from the box, and we will slide the phone out. And as you can see, it's a very cool looking phone. It's like a very ice white. I'm a big fan of this color. I wouldn't go for it myself, but I wouldn't have a problem recommending this one to anyone who just wants a not in your face, but also slightly stand out iPhone XR. But that's what the XR is about. It's the phone for everyone. It's a good price, good specs, and it's the phone to go for this year. If you're not too bothered about OLED screens and a second camera on the back. So yep, this phone, exact same paperwork, and this one, I guess, ironically does have color matched Apple stickers because of course they're white. Okay, so let's get the plastic off. The last one we gotta do today. Still one of the most satisfying feelings in the world, peeling the plastic off a brand new iPhone. I know, I'm sad. Right, let's turn it on. Whilst it's booting up, let's take a look at the enclosure itself. As I said, the edges are very reminiscent of that of the silver iPhone 8, and it's interesting seeing a matte silver device with a black front. It kind of reminds me of the weird 5th generation iPod Touch they released without a camera that had a black front. So this is just a quick comparison of the white iPhone XR next to a silver iPhone X. As you can see, that the back on the 10 is very much a silver color rather than the pure white of the XR. Very cool. So here we have all 4 colors together. I wish I had the other 2 on display right now, but you can't have everything. Of these 4, my favorite is the blue, as I've made pretty clear. I love the red as well. I was a huge fan of it last year on the iPhone 8, and the white is very unique, and the black is, if you want no frills, it's a good looking phone. I've heard the coral in person is quite orange, like an off orange. I'm really not sure whether I'm going to like it myself. I'm leaning towards no, but as I say, I will reserve judgment till I see it. The yellow, I suspect, is going to be very, very nice, so I really do look forward to seeing one of those. Basically, with the XR, especially when it comes to color, I don't think you can really go wrong. The phone is very, very compelling. I mean, sure, it has its downsides. It has an LCD panel that's basically the same as what was on the iPhone 8, but that's by no means a bad thing. It's not quite as water resistant as the iPhone XS. It's IP67, which is the same as the iPhone 7, 8, and 10, whereas the iPhone XS and XS Max are IP68, so a bit of a downside there. You've only got your single lens camera on the back, and it uses software to make up for that in a sort of semi-portrait mode. But as you can see, it's telling us no person detected. This mode only supports portraits with people, unlike the XS, which you can do it on animals, objects, things like that. But just like the rest of the phone, the story here is the camera is still very good. I mean, the portrait mode only has 3 depth effects rather than 5, but are you really going to miss that? Another notable feature the XR is actually missing is 3D touch. It's been replaced with something called haptic touch, which is Apple's way of saying long press and we'll give you some haptic feedback. It can only be used in a few places, like the lock screen actions. Literally, it requires no pressure. You just tap and hold, and then you feel a little tap. It can also be used in the control center for quick actions like the home icon, and it can also be used on the keyboard to go into trackpad mode to move the cursor around. Apple have said they're going to expand the functionality of haptic touch. I wouldn't mind betting it's on the upcoming 2018 iPad Pros if they incorporate a Taptic engine. And there is a rumor that the 2019 iPhones in all varieties will actually drop 3D touch, probably in favor of haptic touch. But the two best things about the iPhone XR are A, it has the exact same processor and power as the iPhone XS and XS Max. Sure, it has a little less RAM, which might be an issue down the road, but right now, not a problem. And the other best thing, which is probably the best thing, is the price. In the UK, they start at $749 for 64 gig. You can double your storage to 128 gig for just £50 more, $799. Then if you want a 256, you can have that for $899. So the pricing is pretty damn good when you look at a XS Max or an iPhone XS. And for most people, the OLED screen and 3D touch and the extra camera aren't worth all that extra money. So the XR is really, really compelling. The only thing I'd say about it after seeing them in person is they are noticeably thicker than the iPhone XS, and that combined with the thicker bezels, it gives off this almost clumsy, chunky look as far as I'm concerned. It's by no means a real issue, but they're not quite as slender and streamlined as the XS and the XS Max. And they're not as shiny either. So for some people, that's going to be an instant no. But logic says to me that these are a really good deal, and I won't have any trouble recommending these to colleagues, friends at all. So thank you for watching this video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it and found it helpful. You can find me on my channel at iCollectApple. You can also find my website, which is www.blueinkcode.com, which is where I write about Apple. I also host a fortnightly podcast about Apple called The Blue Ink Show, which you can find on my website again. And I look forward to doing some videos in the near future, hopefully, of the 2018 iPad Pros when they drop in a couple of days. So I will see you very, very soon. So once again, thanks for watching, guys. Peace.